As you probably know, Holocure's gameplay loop focuses primarily on running around and using weapons to kill enemies, then picking up XP that they drop so that you can get and upgrade more weapons and items to kill more enemies. As such, it is important to get decent weapons to make your job easier. Weapons in Holocure can be separated into 4 types: starting weapons, basic weapons, collab weapons, and super collab weapons, and those types can be divided into 3 categories: melee, ranged, and multi-shot, though defining the categories of the collab and super collab weapons tends to get a little more nebulous. While these categories don't mean much, it is a good idea to know which weapons fall under which category, as certain characters, items, and stamps work better with one category of weapons over another, like how Anya Melfisa's debugger skill synergizes with melee weapons, or how the projectile stamp synergizes with multi-shot weapons. However, which synergies work best will be dependent on the characters and what items you decide to build, so beyond knowing which weapons belong in which category, there isn't much that can generally be discussed in this regard. The starting weapon in Holocure is the weapon that your character starts with as their first weapon. Each character's starting weapon is unique to them, and when you max it out at level 7, it will gain an Awaken property, which bolsters its combat ability significantly, often giving it crazy new abilities. You can enhance the weapon's ability with stamps that enemies have a chance of dropping, and you can also overlevel it with anvils, though you can't add enchantments to it. The basic weapons are weapons you get from leveling. They all generally do the same thing, which is damage enemies, but each one does it in a different way, varying in category, range, and how they fire. Some of them are unlocked from the get-go, and others had to be unlocked by completing certain challenges. You can see which ones need to be unlocked by looking through your achievements. Each basic weapon can be leveled up 7 times either with anvils or level ups, and then can also be overleveled or enchanted with said anvils. However, if you're going to be using anvils on your basic weapons, you should only apply enchantments to them or level them up to level 7, and never overlevel them beyond that. As for why, it's because of the next type of weapon. Collab weapons are special weapons that are made by fusing 2 basic weapons together. If you manage to get 2 level 7 basic weapons and they are compatible, then a golden anvil will drop somewhere on the map, and then when you get the anvil, you will be able to fuse the 2 weapons together, creating a collab. Every weapon has at least 2 collabs, and when you use a weapon in one collab, you can't use it in another. So use this chart I've made to figure out which collabs you want to go for. In addition, when you create a collab, it automatically becomes a level 1 weapon, meaning any additional levels you got from overleveling a basic weapon disappear, which is why I advise against doing it. However, while collabs don't inherit the extra levels of their basic weapon components, they do inherit the enchantments that those basic weapons have, meaning if you have 2 enchanted basic weapons and create a collab with them, then that collab will have both enchantments. This is the only way to get 2 enchantments on a collab, as enchanting a collab with 0 or 1 enchantment will either give them an enchantment or change the enchantment they have. And if you don't like the 2 enchantments on your collab, don't worry, because re-enchanted collabs with 2 enchantments will change both of them. Unlike the basic weapons, which generally just deal damage in different ways, collabs tend to offer more utility besides damage, usually by applying debuffs to enemies, though some have other interesting abilities, like Eldritch Horror's Lifesteal or Absolute Wall's Projectile Projection. Collabs are typically supposed to do more damage than basic weapons, but due to most of them getting their damage nerfed in Update 0.6, it's reached a point where Psycho Axe, a basic weapon, can deal more damage than the majority of them, meaning that the best collabs tend to either be the ones with solid utility like Eldritch Horror and Rapdog, or the ones that can be made into the next category of weapon. Super collab weapons were added in 0.6 and are the reason for the big collab nerf, which was to allow super collabs to be even more powerful. To make a super collab, you need a collab weapon and an item that are compatible with each other, and a golden hammer. To get the hammer, you either need to be level 50, in which the hammer will drop somewhere on the stage, or have 3 collabs, in which you'll get it automatically. Once you have the hammer, you will need to use it to fuse the item and collab together, creating a super collab. Due to the creation of a super collab requiring this golden hammer, you can only get 1 super collab per run. Due to this, super collabs are incredibly powerful, not only having attacks that damage enemies, but also giving you a buff in some way. The specific buff varies depending on the super collab you get, but if you try and get one, make sure not to get the wrong collab. At the moment, there only exists 5 super collabs in the game, but we can probably expect more. So with all this information, which weapons are the best to get? The short answer is it depends on the character. For the long answer, you'll typically get 1 super collab, 3 collabs, and 1 basic weapon. I've made a whole video on what makes a collab good, and while the examples I used in that video are outdated, the core principles are still sound. As such, we can use those criteria to determine which weapons we should get in our build. For our super collab, our best options are either Holy Fire or Jinkisakan. Holy Fire provides you with a damage buff and has decent knockback, making it the strongest super collab in a general sense, while Jinkisakan's healing abilities make it powerful on healer characters like Fauna or Watame. Now, because Jinkisakan uses spider cooking as one of its collabs, this means you'll be locked out of Eldritch Horror, which is the only other weapon with healing abilities. While Jinkisakan has better healing, since you're limited to 1 super collab, that means you can't get Jinkisakan and Holy Fire together, so generally it's best to get Eldritch Horror if you're going for Holy Fire. It not only provides excellent excellent damage, but also lifesteal and a slowing ability, making it very effective for its utility. Which collabs you should utilize besides that will generally be up to you. Some collabs I like using are Mikorone, Rapdog, and Crescent Bardiche. Mikorone is one of the best damaging collabs in the game, and Rapdog can reduce the defense of enemies, but since both require the potato, you'll need to pick one or the other. Crescent Bardiche is just fun for me to use, which is really the most important thing here, so try and pick what's best for you. Though if you're trying to go for as many collabs as you can, be sure to pick the right weapons in the right order. Due to your character having a limit of 5 weapons besides their starting weapon, if you accidentally get weapons that aren't compatible with each other, you may lock yourself out of the collabs you want. As such, I recommend grabbing the basic weapons for 2 collabs that you want, and once you've got one of those collabs up and running, to get the 2 basic weapons for another collab, and to repeat this until you've gotten 4 collabs, or 3 collabs and a super collab. Now, once you've got your collabs, you'll also get 1 empty weapon slot left over which you can fill in with a basic weapon. And while any extra weapon works fine here, the most powerful options are Whammy Water and Ian's Curse. Whammy Water is pretty much the best basic weapon and arguably the best weapon in the entire game. Its knockback and stun at max level is an extremely effective and consistent form of crowd control, giving you a powerful tool to keep enemies from even getting near you, even endgame enemies like the Yagus. All of its collabs are primarily focused on crowd control and so have pretty mediocre damage, but their crowd control abilities are significantly weaker than Whammy Water, which is why every collab of Whammy Water is considered mediocre. The component weapon is worth more than the collab. Ian's Curse, on the other hand, is a good DPS tool due to its ability to chain off enemies, hence why it works so well as a basic weapon in both early and late game. So in a nutshell, for the best experience, get weapons specifically for the collabs and super collabs that you want. For your super collab, get Holy Fire or Chinkizakan, and for your collabs, Eldritch Horror if you're going for Holy Fire, otherwise get some other nice collabs. And then get Whammy Water or Ian's Curse for your last basic weapon. Those are the weapons in Holocure in a nutshell. Hopefully, the information in this guide works for 0.8, so I don't have to remake it. Thanks for watching, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for future videos, and happy holocuring.